Creedon. We begin with something we've kind of been talking about earlier in the week, James, which is a great deal of fun. The Chirac household divided, at war even, over who should lead the French right for 2017.
What is it with French first couples and these public disagreements?
Oh, they love to do it.
In any case, there's been a lot of it this year, but here we are with headlines. Jacques Chirac supporting Alain Juppé, his former Prime Minister for the 2017 presidential election. And then we see that his wife, Bernadette Chirac, who has been a very public supporter of Nicolas Sarkozy going back to his 2012 re-election bid and indeed 2007, she basically disagrees.
She simply doesn't like the man.
She really doesn't. I mean, it's when you actually read what she said, on Radio Classique, she said, "Do you find him warm yourself, Alain Juppé? When he wants to say hello, he offers you his hand," which is clearly, you just don't do that in France. It's all about sloppy kisses on the cheek, and he doesn't look at you, or he looks behind him or to the side. It's not exactly the warmth you might hope for. On Europe 1 earlier in the week, she said he is very, very cold. So,
and he's not taken too kindly to the remarks either, it turns out, as you'd expect.
He said that he was pained, according to Le Point, and that this caused me pain because I have a lot of respect for Madame Chirac. So I think he's trying to rise above this public spat. In any case, yes, it's getting an awful lot of headlines, as you would expect, Melissa.
Now, we're going to have a look at some of what the political cartoonists have been doing with this particular story.
It's manna from heaven for them, really, isn't it? And you can see here Bernadette trying to tip Jacques down the staircase. That's not very friendly or nice behaviour. And the headline there is Chirac coming back on his decision. So, but clearly with a degree of pressure. Here is Jacques asking for a bottle of beer, and Bernadette says off-screen, "Ask Alain Juppé for your bottle of beer." Plantu, the cartoonist for Le Monde, is also, I suppose, indicating that perhaps all is not well in the Chirac household. Here is Jacques by another cartoonist saying, "In 2012 I voted for Hollande and he was elected. In 2017 I'll vote for Juppé and he'll be elected." That, of course, indicating that this isn't the first time the Chiracs have disagreed over presidential candidates. It was widely rumoured that Jacques Chirac, who is from the same constituency in the south as François Hollande, voted for the man of the left over Nicolas Sarkozy.
In fact, he's never liked Nicolas Sarkozy terribly much, let's face it.
I think it's fair to say this next and final cartoon alludes to that, Melissa. He famously, Jacques Chirac, had trouble with his memory, and this doctor is saying, well, his memory seems to be back. And there he is, firing not darts, but
daggers.
Daggers or butcher knives at Nicolas Sarkozy's portrait. So there you go. French politics is...
It's fun again. It's fun again. France is finished, however, says the British executive. We've been talking about it a moment ago. Fun or not, it's over. What's the reaction been to that? I can imagine that the French have been taking to Twitter in huge numbers.
They absolutely have. Just to look at some headlines, first of all, in the British press, France is sclerotic, hopeless, downbeat, it's finished. Now, apparently these remarks were tongue-in-cheek, but it didn't stop, I think, some French people finding them a little bit too much, despite his apologies. Over in London, the French expats of the British capital were being asked by Guardian journalists what they thought of all of this. Some agreed, some didn't agree. You had Greg saying, "For me, it's true, that's why I left. No one cares. They just complain all the time." Vincent and Sandrine, on the other hand, saying that these remarks were completely wrong and that France is absolutely not finished. So look, you're obviously going to have disagreements. And the Guardian rather helpfully did a graphic comparing GDP, corporation tax, the working week, etc., etc. And they finished by saying, well, it depends on where you look, because I suppose for issues for quality of life, you have a shorter working week, etc. Maybe the French aren't doing that badly. But I suppose lots of comments on Twitter about le French bashing, and France is finished. So if you even click on that hashtag, you see that there are lots of tweets about this. Les propos délirants, the completely crazy comments of John Lewis. So I think some unimpressed French people.
A great deal of anger here in France tonight. Thanks very much indeed, James Creedon. A look there at what is making waves on social media websites, and a look at business there with Della Notes. 27 minutes past 10. We're going to take a quick break, and then the latest headlines, including the latest about the British hostage, Alan Henning. A video has been released purporting to show his beheading. We'll be bringing you all the latest on that in just a moment.